It's one of Hawaii's most forbidden trails, yet it still attracts hikers who sneak in the dark of night. Marissa Yamane spoke with the city about Haiku Stairs, also known as the Stairway to Heaven, and the chance of it ever being reopened.
This is a common sight to see every morning. People making their way down Haiku Stairs even though it's illegal to hike there. The city has signs warning people to stay away and even pays a security company about $60,000 a year to be a deterrent.
They monitor it from early in the morning until later on during the day, really during the peak time when most people would be hiking.
Laredo Moreto is one of the security guards posted near the bottom of Haiku Stairs. He stops hikers from going up, but doesn't stop them from coming down.
How many people do you see come down from the stairs on a given day?
On a given day, being a weekday, it varies anywhere from 8 to 15 or 20. Weekend and holiday, count on 100. I get here real early before we're on duty.
These stairs were initially built as a means of reaching a naval radio antenna. The original wooden stairs were replaced by metal stairs in the 1950s. Laredo remembers his first time hiking up Haiku Stairs.
I did it 35 years ago with a waiver from the Coast Guard station. They let 16 people a day go up, but the freeway wasn't there. Nobody knew the ladder was here even. But now you can see it.
Haiku Stairs was closed in 1987 because of vandalism and disrepair. The state took it over, then the city. Under Mayor Jeremy Harris, the city spent $875,000 to repair Haiku Stairs with the intention of reopening it.
But it never really had enough support from the neighbors to really be able to allow people to be able to go up there.
So, over the years, hikers have gone over fences, into people's yards, even onto a charter school's property, basically anything they can do to get to Haiku Stairs. And once they hike up, they risk not only their lives, but also potentially the lives of first responders who may have to rescue them. There are steps and railings the whole way, but there's also a steep drop if you misstep.
You gotta hang on. And in the rain, it's slippery and it's generally wet up there because you're in the clouds a lot.
So what's the chance of it ever being reopened?
I think the real solution would be to have more community support. There are some third-party groups like the Friends of Haiku Stairs that have indicated an interest in taking over the maintenance of it, but they're actually rivaled by a lot of the neighbors that are in that area who don't want it to be opened. And so until that gets resolved, we may be in what kind of is a truce situation where we have the security guard just telling people that they can't go up.
We begin with late-breaking news tonight. 2 hikers just rescued from the notorious Stairway to Heaven trail off the H3. Now they're on safe ground on Kaneohe, and that's where KITV4's Catherine Cruz is standing by live with the latest. Catherine.
I'm here at Kaneohe District Park where an ambulance was standing by because the initial information was that there was an injured hiker. It was up here at the top of the pulley. I'm told that the initial call came in at around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Firefighters said there was a male and female hiker. They initially heard information that the male hiker had fallen about 200 feet. When he was able to talk to firefighters, he said he actually slipped 15 feet, or fell 15 feet and then slipped another 150. But he seemed to be fine. He was able to walk out on his own, where medical personnel were able to check him over. Then firefighters had to go up a second time to rescue the woman that was up there with him. They managed to get her out in good condition. I'm told that the problem is that with these winds up here on the Pali is that it's very tricky, and we are getting to nightfall and the area does get socked in. So firefighters do want to remind people to please be careful when you go out hiking, to know your limits. It is pretty treacherous up there, and firefighters do risk their lives when they go up for these rescues.
It's an area that's closed off to the public, but people still continue to go hiking up Stairway to Heaven. And early this morning, firefighters got a call from someone who got stuck. The call came from a man just before 2 o'clock this morning. He said he got stuck near the top because it was raining. So firefighters went out, but said they'd be back later because it was dark and the weather was bad. They returned at sunrise and brought him down by helicopter. The hiker was not injured.
Despite fences, a security guard, and warning signs, people continue to break the law by hiking the Haiku Stairs, also known as the Stairway to Heaven. But sneaking in is about to get more difficult. We did some digging and found the Board of Water Supply, which manages some of the land, is stepping up security measures at the stairs. We wanted to know what are the long-term solutions and what the future holds for the Haiku Stairs.
The city continues to work on a long-term solution. In the meantime, the Board of Water Supply is starting up a new project in an effort to keep hikers out. When there's a will, there's a way. And despite warning signs, fencing, and even a security guard, hikers still find a way to get to Stairway to Heaven.
I counted last Saturday between hours in the morning for 3 hours. We had 86 hikers come down, all making noise, leaving trash, making a general nuisance. Some were quiet, some were respectful, but the majority are just, noisy and intrusive.
The entry point is also near the small Hawaiian immersion school.
The disruptions to our campus are daily. We've had a couple of instances where hikers have, had run-ins with our students, and our parents too, because we use the roadway, the access way to bring our children to school and take them home from here.
The Board of Water Supply started managing Stairway to Heaven earlier this year because it has a well and the watershed in the area. They recently added this gravel at the start of the trail, and this formerly muddy area will become a staging area for a project to install better fencing and more signage to warn trespassers there on private property. Spokesperson Jill Koromoto said, "This is an effort to address an ongoing problem with hikers illegally entering the property. Haiku Stairs is just one of many BWS properties receiving security upgrades."
Our community, we think that is great.
Very happy that the Board of Water Supply is kind of stepping in, taking some responsibility, looking at how they can best manage that site.
Either we convene a working group, bring people together, say give that working group 90 days to come up with a solution, or we remove the stairs. That would be my proposal.
Even though BWS manages it, the city still owns the stairs, and it would ultimately be up to the city to decide what to do with it.
Our ultimate recommendation is for the city-county to make a safe, controlled access way, because it's a beautiful area that everyone should be able to enjoy safely.
According to his spokesman, Mayor Caldwell continues to seek a solution that could allow the public to safely access Haiku Stairs from a new access point away from the residential neighborhood and shield taxpayers from liability issues. In the meantime, the stairs remain closed and trespassers can be cited by police.
We're not necessarily against our people enjoying our spaces, here in Hawaii. That's not what we're not anti that or anything, but we're just very concerned about our school.
And Councilman Anderson told me that dismantling the stairs would cost at least $500,000. He said that's what the City Department of Parks and Recreation told the City Council several years ago. We will continue to follow this until a permanent solution is found.
morning.
They're safe tonight, but last night, a man and a woman were stranded on the Stairway to Heaven trail along the steep Ko'olau Mountains.
It took only minutes for the Honolulu Fire Department helicopter to ferry the young lady to the landing zone from a perch high atop the mountain near the Haiku Stairs. First, the young lady, then just minutes later, her hiking partner rejoined her safe on the ground.
Yeah, they're okay. He didn't really say much to me, just that, you know, they got to a spot where they couldn't go up or down anymore. It was already dark, so they just had to stay where they were.
The young man who was rescued was Kelly's brother, Jonathan. It was a roundabout way Kelly found out her brother was missing.
This morning, I got a call from his boss saying he didn't show up to work, which is not like my brother.
He had also left behind his cell phone, but the female hiker had one and was able to call HFD at around 2 o'clock this morning asking for help.
Yeah, it was good to see them. I didn't see the rescue, but I got here and they were fine, so that was good.
The hikers apparently made their way over the Ko'olau from the Tripler area and did not make it to the Haiku Stairs. They could have been cited by police if they did because the trail is closed and off limits. The two were checked by emergency medical technicians but did not need to go to the hospital.
The Stairway to Heaven remains one of the most popular trails in Hawaii, even though it is closed to the public. While the city figures out the trail's future, one resident hopes an answer will come soon. The resident, who lives near the trail, says a recent encounter with a group of hikers turned violent when he and his wife were assaulted. Police have opened an investigation. Meanwhile, we heard from an area lawmaker who's working towards a final resolution on the stairway.
Even though there is a guard stationed at the foot of the stairway, hikers still manage to find their way to the hiking trail. That confrontation between the resident and a group of hikers happened in late March. But the victim says police have opened criminal cases on the matter, and the victim has now been told to help investigators by reviewing a photo lineup of possible suspects.
If you're able to climb the more than 3,900 steps, the view from the summit is spectacular here in Haiku Valley, but the beauty of the hike recently turned ugly. In the early morning hours of March 20th, a group of hikers confronted a resident and his wife who live next to a gate that leads to the popular hiking trail.
What exactly happened in this attack?
As we were taking pictures, they started, shouting, verbal insults, and then they directly came up on our property, threatened us, and as we tried to back away, one shoved my wife. I pushed her back, and that's when I was jumped by 3 other individuals.
You suffered injuries?
I was beat up, I was bruised, pushed to the ground, scrapes.
Police have opened 2 assault cases and are also investigating possible criminal property damage. Police say they do go after hikers for trespass and hand out citations, and those caught have to go to court because there is no fine attached to the citation.
While there may be more than a couple of ways to get to the stairway, this is the most popular, this fenced-off roadway. That's because hikers can park their cars nearby. And even though they may find the gate locked, there's still a way to get through the fence through this hole. How do we resolve that?
I spoke to the area councilman, Ikaika Anderson. He says he has been in discussions with the mayor to find a resolution to the stairway. Anderson told me that he is looking at 2 options: either reopen the stairway and provide a safe and secure access to prevent confrontations with residents, or remove the stairway entirely. I spoke to a hiker who has this advice for those who want to access the stairway.
You be respectful, you be quiet, and leave it the same way that you found it.
Problems with hikers have gotten progressively worse in the past 3 years. And he says his issue is not with the people who want to access the stairway. His main concern as a member of his resident security watch is a safe and secure neighborhood. While discussions continue at City Hall, there is no timeline on when a decision will be made on what to do with the Stairway to Heaven.
The critical day, 3rd day of search is over, and still no sign of a teenager apparently lost on a forbidden trail. Good evening, I'm Paula.
And I'm Yanji Denise. Let's get right to the story. KIT4's Catherine Cruz is just back from the Haiku Stairs where they were searching today. Catherine.
Well, the weather didn't allow for HFD to send up a helicopter in the air early this morning, and so most of their initial efforts were on the ground.
Family and friends of 18-year-old Dalen Pua do all they can to stay optimistic at Kaneohe District Park, but their focus is up at the Ko'olau's and time's working against them. Bad weather forced fire rescue crews to cut short their search by air Saturday and Sunday, and this morning conditions were too dangerous, so most of their efforts were on the ground, with crews rappelling down gullies.
We have gone over an extensive area with Air One doing its search several times over the past 2 days. So now we're going into the more high probable areas if he was in trouble.
The last cues of his whereabouts came 4 days ago. Pua posted 4 scenic shots to social media at around 11 Thursday morning. Cell phone records indicate the last activity on his phone at about 3:30 in the afternoon. There's been nothing since.
No one knows for sure where Pua started his hike, but 2 family friends began searching this trailhead here at Moanalua Valley, and firefighters say they ended up getting in trouble and calling 911.
The 2 women had to be rescued at around 7 p.m. at the summit last night.
They didn't bring any new information to the search other than they didn't see him in certain areas, which helps contain the area from where we're looking to where the positive signs of where he definitely was.
HFD hasn't tapped any civilian search teams. They say it's unsafe and are discouraging anyone else from going into the area at this time.
We don't want anyone going into this closed hike and endangering themselves for this search.
Big Island teen had been visiting his grandmother here on Oahu and was to have returned to the neighbor islands on Saturday. Instead, his family flew here, hoping for the best outcome, but knowing as days pass, the likelihood of that happening are slipping away.
Now, HFD's helicopter did eventually join the search by air late this afternoon. Again, officials ended the search. They do not plan to go back out tomorrow. Back to you, Paula, Yanji.
Honolulu Fire Department suspended its search for the missing teen hiker at 2 this afternoon after weather conditions made the operation too dangerous. KITV host Catherine Cruz is just back from Moanalua Valley, where efforts were focused today. Catherine.
Well, Paula, fire officials say 2 nurses who were hiking the Moanalua Trail late yesterday heard someone cry out, "Help me, I'm down here." Based on that information, HFD was hopeful they would find Dalen Pua, and so they searched for a 4th day on this side of the ridge and not around Haiku Stairs, where they were focusing their efforts over the weekend.
Fire rescue crews battled wind and rain as they tried to systematically cover the area where late afternoon the 2 hikers heard cries for help.
They heard a voice calling for help. Our fire department went to that specific spot and did an extensive search along that ridge line. It was described as a ridge line that was approximately 1 meter in width, about 200 meters long, with extensive cliff sides on either side.
The weather made it rough for the volunteer search parties who were trying to check other areas where Dalen Pua, or Moki as he was called, could have run into trouble.
It's zero visibility, it's wet, rainy, the cloud cover is right on the mountain itself. It's too hazardous for the helicopter to get anywhere near that area.
Volunteers with 3 different groups, Hawaii Trail and Mountain Club, Hike Hawaii, and 808 Caveman turned out to help the family. Even pig hunters did what they could to cover the valley and ridge where HFD wasn't scouring.
We started at 6 this morning and coming out at 12, and the rest of our gang is still going.
Some of the pastors from local churches came to lend their support. They say the Big Island family is grateful for all the aloha.
Some of the local pastors been coming out trying to provide the family love of lunch and, prayers. And the family is definitely overwhelmed with the amount of people and volunteers coming out.
HFD says unless it has new information, it has no plans to go back up tomorrow. But the hiking community and the family says they're not giving up. This hiker recalled he survived up on the mountain for a week before the fire department brought him down.
I was up there for 7 days. I didn't have 7 days worth of supplies with me. I just rationed my supplies as long as I could,
Bowen is holding to hope that Pua will be found.
Many of us have been in situations like that, and we know that we would have appreciated it. We did appreciate it very much when someone kept looking, and you just don't give up.
And this afternoon, officers with the Department of Land and Natural Resources helped to ferry the search crews out of the valley. This was an extensive effort by dozens of people. Several hikers plan to go back out tomorrow. The trails on this side of the island are open to the public to hike, unlike the Haiku Stairs, which is off limits. Back to you.
Fire rescue crews helped a man and a woman from the Haiku Stairs area this afternoon, also known as the Stairway to Heaven. The battalion chief told us the woman called police and said she fell about 40 feet. The fire department launched a helicopter and rescuers found her about an hour and a half later. Police were on scene to issue citation, but we're told they did not because the hikers may not have actually been on the stairs themselves. Alex Herbal goes beyond the headlines and found some people who say the stairs are still safe. Alex?
Aloha, Kathy. As popular as the stairs are, it is illegal to be on them. Firefighters told me the hikers were on the Haiku Stairs trail, but they were rescued on the Moanalua side and not on the actual stairs. Now, today, an HFD helicopter and more than 20 firefighters helped rescue the two hikers. The first HFD unit got to Kaneohe District Park at 12:41 and located the man and woman at about 2 p.m. The 28-year-old woman told 911 she fell approximately 40 feet. And we are working to find out how badly she was injured. The second hiker had no injuries. Back in June 2015, a 30-year-old man broke his ankle while jumping over a fence to get to the off-limits trail. I reached out to the president of Friends of Haiku Stairs, who tells me the stairs are safe and should be opened.
I mean, in the past, it's actually been almost unheard of for somebody to actually get injured on the stairs. You hear about people getting injured, trying to get onto the stairs, or maybe coming up from Moanalua Valley side and getting injured or lost up there. But actually on the stairs, it's incredibly safe.
She was in a pretty tight spot. She was wedged between the mountain and the tree. So crews took extra little effort and time to secure her position. We don't actually know where she started out from. Initial reports that they started out near or behind the state hospital. So we don't know if she was on a marked trail or was on a authorized or unauthorized trails.
The president of Friends of Haiku Stairs tells me they are proposing managed access, a group who would control the number of hikers on the trail and educate people on the shoes they should wear and how much water to bring. I spoke with an officer who tells me it doesn't matter how you get there. Once you step on those stairs, you've already made a bad decision. Again, we're told the hikers weren't on the stair structure part.
What's up, guys? Morning.
I want to make something clear. There are two ways to get to your destination. First option is to your right. Take 15 to 20 steps, and on your left-hand side will be a huge rock. Take that path, and it'll lead you there. Second option, head to your left, where the sign's at. Go through there, stay to the right, and on your right-hand side, you'll eventually see the huge rock. Understand that either way will take you to the stairs. Good luck.
It's gonna be a hard part. Yeah, see. It's gonna be the hard part right here. Shit. Okay. Fuck. Damn it. Alright. Alright. Come on. Whoa. Fuck. That was close. Maybe. I'm not sure. I saw a guy. But I don't know. No, I'm going up. Yeah. I don't think so. He was the only one that was up ahead. It's sucking going up.
a makeshift swing thousands of feet atop a forbidden mountain trail.
Talking about the Haiku Stairs in Kaneohe, otherwise known as the Stairway to Heaven. Viewers using the reported feature on our website alerted us about this recently built swing way up there atop the summit.
Now that hike itself is illegal, and now daredevils are seeking an even bigger thrill. That's something new and extremely dangerous. We wanted to know who's going to take it down before someone gets hurt or even killed.
Marissa Dash, I learned swings have been cropping up at various trails across Oahu, not just Stairway to Heaven. The question is, what will be done about it? I asked the Board of Water Supply and was told by a representative they weren't even aware of the new addition.
Hikers swinging thousands of feet atop the Ko'olau Mountains, 2,820 feet to be exact.
If they're swinging out over the, an open area, then potentially if they fell off, it could be fatal.
Vernon Ansdell has been fighting to reopen the Haiku Stairs ever since it closed to the public in 1987. But the new swing?
It's illegal to be on the stairs right now. People who go up there who get caught are getting fined, and big fines. It's illegal. It's not helping our cause to have people up there, and we certainly don't condone it.
The swing was built along two existing rusted poles at the top of the stairs. Who built it? I'm still working to find out. Marcus Griego with 808 Caveman Hiking Group calls it a liability.
I've been told it's a death trap. Somebody one day is going to fly off of it, or the cable's going to snap. Guess what's going to happen immediately?
I asked the Honolulu Fire Department how many hikers have been rescued there since last year. HFD tells me since January 2015, firefighters performed 27 mountain rescues in this area. Griego fears the new swing will raise the numbers.
Word is getting out. Folks see great pictures and all that and think they can do it.
Haiku Stairs is on private property owned by the Board of Water Supply. I'm here to find out if they know about the new addition to the stairs, and if they do, will it be taken down?
A spokesperson tells me they are now aware of the amateur swing because of our questions. Still, nobody would talk to me on camera about it.
Now, the Board of Water Supply sent me a statement not too long ago. A spokesperson said it does not know who is responsible for the swing, but calls it dangerous and irresponsible. They plan on removing it. The Board of Water Supply wants to remind hikers that if you are caught, you may be cited and could face fines as high as $1,000.
as mysteriously as it appeared, it disappeared. We're talking about the swing on the top of Stairway to Heaven. The Board of Water Supply hired a crew to take it down along with the 2 large poles that held the swing in place. But when crews got to the top this morning, the swing was gone. So crews just brought down the poles. And now that they're gone, what about the stairs?
The Board of Water Supply tackled the safety issue of the swing today, but another remains, whether or not the stairs will stay. And the board says it's caught in the middle.
On Monday afternoon, hikers took it upon themselves to get rid of the dangerous swing atop Stairway to Heaven. But the existing poles used to install the swing were still up there, and crews worked all day Tuesday to tear them down. The Board of Water Supply says it was part of an old Coast Guard facility. The Stairway to Heaven is under 24-hour surveillance. The Board of Water Supply tells me hundreds trespass the stairs on a monthly basis.
We understand that they are supporters of the stairs and people that want the stairs removed. And our Board of Water Supply is somewhat caught in the middle. We want to make sure we do a thorough job and allows everybody to provide their viewpoints on the situation of Haiku Stairs.
Board of Water Supply Manager Ernest Lau says the board still wants to tear the stairs down. It's also been trying to transfer ownership of Haiku Stairs to another government agency.
Unfortunately, we've been unsuccessful, so we're moving forward with a preparation of an environmental impact statement to allow us to look at the option of complete removal of the stairs.
Meanwhile, Lau stresses the stairs are still illegal.
If you go up the stairs, you may be cited for trespassing, and we work closely with Honolulu Police Departments on issuing citations for trespassing.
The board says it will take 1 to 2 years to go through the environmental statement. Security tells me thrill seekers trespassing the stairs have been cited before. If you're caught, you're facing a $1,000 fine.
Thank you, man. Yep, that's all right. Thank you. Sweet, thank you. I'm in your picture.
It's a popular but illegal trail in windward Oahu that's been closed for more than 30 years. But that has not stopped the hordes of illegal hikers that come by every day. Despite fences, a security guard, and warning signs, people continue to break the law by hiking the Haiku Stairs, also known as the Stairway to Heaven. But sneaking in is about to get more difficult. The stairs owner, the Board of Water Supply, is stepping up security.
The Board of Water Supply says it's working with HPD to have special duty officers patrol the neighborhood at the bottom of Haiku Stairs. Starting soon in this Kaneohe neighborhood, HPD will be on hand ready to issue citations to anyone trying to get to the Haiku Stairs.
We have some special duty Honolulu Police Department officers who are going to be coming out and going to the various points that we know where people are trespassing to get access to the stairs.
Special duty officers will be patrolling the neighborhood at random at a cost of $40 per hour. I wanted to know if this cost will be passed on to Board of Water Supply customers.
No, absolutely not. It's just part of our budget. We do have contingency budget for these kinds of things, so that's what we'll be tapping into.
Dr. Vernon Ansdell, president of Friends of Haiku Stairs, tells me he's aware of rising tensions between hikers and residents.
I'm surprised they haven't done this before. It's sort of long overdue to have an effective security plan in place there. At the moment, it looks like it's really not effective at all.
Ansdell said he still supports a plan that would allow paid access to the stairs, but while the hike still remains illegal, he says he understands the need for more security.
Well, I think once the word gets out that you're going to get caught, you're going to get cited, you're going to get a $1,000 fine, then people will not be trying to sneak in there in the middle of the night.
Rose tells me while more security is a good thing, he believes there's only one way to keep people from attempting the hike.
The ultimate deterrent is tearing down the stairs. Hopefully this will be an interim deterrent to stop all the trespassing that goes on here every morning.
The Board of Water Supply did not want to release any information about when officers will be patrolling, but they hope the increased presence will make people think twice before hiking the stairs.
We were the first to tell you last month about the crackdown on illegal hiking at Haiku Stairs, and it looks like it's working. The Board of Water Supply, which owns the stairs, hired special duty police officers to patrol the surrounding neighborhoods for trespassers. In the past month, 631 people on foot or in vehicles have been stopped, and 9 citations have been handed out. Trespassers face a citation or arrest, which can lead to a fine of up to $1,000 and jail time.
seat, Rogers, you?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yep.
To park on the street help curb trespassers entering the Haiku Stairs, also known as the Stairway to Heaven. For years, residents have complained about hikers making noise in the middle of the night and trekking through their backyards for the illegal hike. But a restricted parking zone implemented in Kalihi Valley this year has proven successful, and some Haiku residents believe it could work for them too.
A community member heard about the Residential Restricted Parking Zones, or RPZ, in Kalihi Valley and brought the idea to Kaneohe. But Haiku residents want to use it differently. RPZ was installed in Kalihi Valley because residents couldn't find street parking. The Haiku community is looking into RPZ to deter hikers from trespassing.
The parking either in blocking driveways or parking at all hours, car alarms, and all the different noise to trespass.
We learned there are up to 50 homeowners directly impacted by hikers trespassing in their yards. I'm told the presence of special duty officers who were recently hired by the Board of Water Supply is helping. Community members want a residential parking zone on Makena and Kuneka Street because that's where hikers park to get to the main entrance. Has the board been in communication with city officials about this already?
Yes, we've spoken with the city, and they've asked that we
get some information from the community.
Kaneohe Neighborhood Board Chair Mo Radke tells me the next step is to get a survey out to Haiku residents and then deliver a report to state and city officials.
I think if we approach them with some more information, we may be able to get a commitment.
We try to attack this a bite at a time. It's another positive bite. We try to restrict all the trespassing hikers, parking all over the neighborhood.
We reached out to City Council member Ikaika Anderson, who tells me he's aware of the proposal and has talked to the mayor about it. He tells us they are working towards a solution.
Sorry about that, guys. Alright, I don't know how to do the work. Sorry. Alright. Thank you.
Mother Nature may have put an end to a popular and illegal trail. Haiku Stairs, also known as Stairway to Heaven, was damaged by a landslide. Hikers say it happened between Friday night and Saturday morning when the islands were hit by a storm that brought gusty winds and rain. Haiku Stairs has been closed for nearly 30 years, but people still hike it. There was hope of possibly reopening the trail. We wanted to know if that could still happen after the damage from the storm.
It's already an area that's off limits and dangerous, but it still continues to draw in hikers. So what's the next step? And is there a way to make both hikers and residents happy?
There's an either-or solution. You keep it or you get rid of it for safety's sake.
With the recent damage to the trail, we wanted to know what the next step is.
We really need to know from the Board of Water Supply standpoint, what's it going to cost to fix the damage? Are they willing to fix the damage?
Councilmember Ikaika Anderson helped form the task force. He says he's pushing for a managed access point that would allow the trail to reopen.
In order for that to happen, my understanding is the current owner, the Board of Water Supply, as they would be willing to transfer the property to another governmental entity, that would need to occur.
Councilmember Anderson said ultimately the decision to repair the recent damage to the stairs is up to the Board of Water Supply.
what's going to happen to the Haiku Stairs or the Stairway to Heaven? For now, the future remains unknown.
But tensions in the neighborhood continue to rise. Some of the people who live in that area don't like having the hikers there. Kaneohe Neighborhood Board members were recently told by a police officer that a hiker was shot by a pellet gun following an altercation. We checked with HPD and found out someone was arrested, but the case has since been closed.
Residents and hikers have been fighting over the future of the stairs for years. This most recent incident highlighting the need for an answer as to what the future will be.
In the shadow of the Haiku Stairs, a run-in between a hiker and a local resident, ending with an arrest.
My understanding is that on at least one occasion, a hiker was shot with what I was told was an air rifle.
According to police, someone was arrested for assault, but the victim has since withdrawn the complaint. Each month, residents express concerns about trespassing, something the neighborhood board chair is used to hearing.
The frustrations of the residents would lead to something like this, where there'd be an altercation where somebody would ask somebody not to trespass on their property, and something like this might happen.
Radke, along with Dr. Vernon Ansdell, who represents Friends of Haiku Stairs, support opening the stairs under a managed access plan, saying what's happening now isn't working.
They're looking for some kind of relief, and they're looking for wherever they can get it. And the Board of Water Supply did a good thing by exchanging out the security guard for a uniformed officer.
Radke says since the special duty police officers have started to patrol the area, trespassing has gone down, but a final solution is still needed. Ansdell, with Friends of Haiku Stairs, says he doesn't condone trespassing, but says the violence that followed this time was unnecessary.
To be honest, when I first heard about it, I was just amazed. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is incredibly irresponsible to be behaving like that. I mean, somebody could get badly injured or lose their eyesight with things like this.
A decades-long controversy has been brewing about what to do with the Haiku Stairs, otherwise known as the Stairway to Heaven. Now there's a very real possibility the stairs will be coming down. The Board of Water Supply released an environmental impact study with a few options.
The BWS, who owns the land, wants to rid itself of the liability of security and maintenance of the illegal but often trespass spot for hikers. And with options of destroying the stairs, keeping it as is, or transferring ownership, there's still plenty of opinions on what should happen to the stairs.
Really, it's time to make a decision about this. Obviously, I think removing the stairs would be a ridiculous choice.
Dr. Vernon Ansdell, the president of the Friends of Haiku Stairs, thinks that the Board of Water Supply's concern of liability is misplaced on the stairs. He considers the areas of the hike around the stairs more dangerous.
The stairs themselves are actually incredibly safe. It's a stairway with railings. You know, you're not going to get lost, and you're really not going to get injured.
Another option laid out by the Board of Water Supply outside of complete removal of the stairs would be a land swap with another government agency or potentially a private entity. Dr. Ansdell thinks the Friends of Haiku has an answer. Instead of spending close to $1 million to tear down the stairs by the year 2022, use a permit system to control who goes up and when. With Kama'aina rates for locals, Dr. Ansdell believes the permit fees would pay for insurance, security, staffing, maintenance, and education.
We have a managed access proposal that we've been working on for many years, so it's very well thought through, and it addresses all the concerns that people have about access and safety and liability and so on.
The Haiku Village residents I spoke to were concerned that security was no longer present, but the BWS assured me a roving officer patrols the area and is not stationary.
Which way is it? Shit. Let's try this way. Oh, there's a hole. Big ass hole. Cramping up. Which way am I going?
Officials are reminding everybody to know the trails, even though they may seem easy, know where they're hiking, and never go alone.
And as a reminder from the fire department, we want people to always be cognizant of where they're going, know about the trails and the hazards, and stay on the main trails is what we like people to remember. We like to recommend to people, let people know what you're doing, whether it's in the water or in the mountains. Let them know, at least let them know where you're going, your intent, and when you plan to come out. So if you are delayed, they can notify us.